What could be better than waking up to a brand new bottle of lubricant? Well, good morning, dudes and dudettes. So today, as you can tell, the tortoise is slowly waking up. I actually had to move him because he was out in the yard, and it is way too cold today. As you can tell, I have all my materials needed for filling in the massive hole in my yard. But, today is a shitty day. It very may well, there we go, rain later, and I don't have a lot of time, so it is now 9 o'clock in the morning. I am jumping out of bed and immediately starting work. I need to get some leveling sand put down, and I also need to finish off all these pieces. I need to PVC pipe glue all of this. I need to get this closer to the wall. As you can tell, this would add, if you forced it to the wall, you can tell it adds too much pressure to that line, so I'm gonna have to get about an extra inch or so of soil off there, get it actually pushed to the wall, PVC glue, all of that crap, put some leveling sand down, and then I start working with lubricant, because I have to somehow get about 50 feet of wire through 50 feet of conduit, which is going to be a bitch. And this says 100, but I'm only going to use about half of it. They didn't have 50-foot rolls, which makes no sense. I got a brand new wire puller, 65 feet, because mine's only 25. I exchanged those 20 amp breakers for 30 amp breakers, which will fill that box with today. Lots and lots of stuff, but I do believe I'm prepared. We're going to get it complete today. And a little bit of a detour later, back in the well house we go. I actually need a couple of elbows. Wow, we have a whole bag of them too. Nice. Grab a couple elbows and back to the house. And I got it done. So I went through, PVC glued every single joint that I have, all the couplers all the way down, all the way to here, where I did a little bit more digging to make sure that that was closer. As you can tell, once again, we have a little bit of an issue. I'm going to have to pull up that into the line with a little bit of leveling sand to make sure that that's actually parallel with the wood, but it all looks good. If you've never used this stuff before, it is insanely easy. PVC glue, you just wipe the primer on it, wait about 5 seconds, and then wipe the glue on it, put your two pieces together, and twist them. That's about it. Hold them together until they're glued. Good Lord. What a hell of a morning. Alright, it doesn't look like it's going to rain right now, and I have yet to eat breakfast, so I'm going to go get some breakfast. Be back out here in a little bit. Got the babies all fed, just like myself. I just got breakfast. This guy's a little shy this morning. Interesting. But I got them all fed. I also have started thinking about this. So, all the PVC line is already run. I need to run some sand, or put some sand in the hole. What I don't know is how the hell I'm gonna get 50 feet of wire through 100 feet of conduit. I assume I'm gonna cut this about in half, and then, because I only need about 35-40 feet of it, cut it in half, run all the wire I have through it, and then we'll see. But that's gonna be about 45 minutes of me fidangling trying to figure out how the hell to do that. I know I'm going to use the wire loop, but I have no idea how much or how the hell I'm going to pull it through there. Well, I think I got it all run. I got the conduit, well, I say run. I've got it semi through the hole. I don't have any wire in there yet, but I wanted to see exactly how long I needed for plastic, or at least get a good estimation for how much conduit I need. And that's about it. So, there's about 50 feet of it. I'd say about 40 if I'm being honest. About 40 feet of this that I'm now going to have to figure out how the fuck to pull a wire through. I assume what I'm going to do is take this end right here, attach it to my fence over there, stretch the wire as far as I possibly can towards my house, and then put a wire puller through it, and get a lot of lube, and see if I can pull it through. Who knows? Alrighty, well, that definitely didn't take 30 minutes, but I don't know if you can tell on the camera, I got the wire runner run through, all the way through the hose. We'll follow this. The conduit all the way down here, into the ditch, over the ditch, down all the fucking way down here, and voila. So I got the wire puller all the way through the conduit, and I've also already got my wire wrapped up on it and taped everything else. Now it's just time to fill this thing with lube and see if we can stick it in there. Sounds like a personal problem. Oh man, was that a bitch. I actually cut my conduit a little too long, so I ended up having to pull the wire like 10 feet too far. But I got it pulled all the way through. It took almost exactly as long as I was expecting, about 20 to 30 minutes. I got all of that run, it's all the way to the pole, and theoretically I should be able to start putting my receptacle over here once I'm done with that. Before I continue with all this electrical stuff, I think, because it's still a possibility that it's going to storm today, I'm going to do all the leveling sand first. Maybe zip tie some of that conduit to the PVC. I don't know if that's a good idea because I'll just add extra strain. But basically I'm going to try to get ahead of the storm. I'm going to do all the sand stuff first because if it starts raining, I definitely don't want to be working in a muddy ditch. Oh man, the sun's starting to peek out. Finally. Well, that also just means thunderstorms later. But looks like I've got the sand running. I put about 5 bags of sand in. I lifted the pipe as I was doing it so I could put about a ½ inch to an inch of sand underneath the pipe. The whole point of leveling sand is for it to go under the pipe, not around the pipe. But I think I'm going to use the rest of my sand to cover up the pipe and then make it where it has a pretty nice sand layer where it can kind of settle wherever it chooses to. Past that, it looks pretty damn good. I'm going to call it quits. I need to go get some lunch. I'm sweating like a pig. Maybe not. I was going to go get lunch, but then I decided just to finish off the sand real quick. I pretty much filled up the hole about 2/3 of the way with this nice leveling sand and play sand. It seems to be perfect. Now it's time for lunch. With renewed energy from lunch, I got all the lines run. Now I ran it a little bit different than what I was planning on doing. I wasn't planning on doing that, a little weird snake into the bottom of my house, but if I was being honest, with it running straight up the wall like so, it looked like shit. So I decided to put it underneath and kind of hide it a bit, let it run right back up. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet with this. I mean, I'll probably just put a plug on the end of it to temporarily test it, plug it into that and everything else, but I have no idea. I think I might put a switch, get another box, maybe mount it like right over here, put a switch there, and just have that link into that receptacle, but I have no idea. I'll have to figure that one out here pretty quick. Next step is to fill in the massive hole, which my tortoise will be very happy about, because he was pissed yesterday that he couldn't get to the larger part of his yard. But let's do this. Now, before I cut, notice this water ingress through this whole trench. That's not because my water line's leaking. I actually don't have it hooked up yet. That's because I have a septic line about 10 inches deep there, and I have a washing line about 12 inches deep-ish over there. So I have to be very, very careful not to break this shit. That's why all these lines are so shallow. Like it was never even there. So I put most of the grass back where I found it. You'll notice it's a little bit, I don't know if I can get an angle on this, it's a little bit mounded up, but that's good because that's gonna all settle down after it gets wet. I'm probably gonna run a little bit of water over it, but it's gonna thunderstorm for pretty much the next whole week. So it looks pretty damn good. Nice. I got my water line there, output's over there. Now I just need to run, I guess, my faucet and the electrical box out here, and I'm done for the day because I am freaking exhausted. All this digging and wire pulling has got me wiped out. On top of that, I need to go get some more weed today. So, let me tackle the last thing today, and then I'll call it quits. All done on the faucet. No, it doesn't look great, but I mean, I'll use it. Past that, time for the electrical box. Ta-da! Got it all run. It's all properly wired up and everything, but it is literally starting to rain right now. As you can tell, it is not great outside. I need to pick up stuff as fast as possible so I don't have a bunch of wet tools, and hopefully this is all done. We'll test out the electricity and everything tomorrow, because I'm definitely not going to be messing with wiring that up while it's raining. All right. He's like, what the fuck are you doing to my yard, man? So I ended up taking another bag of sand and putting it out there. It just stopped drizzling. I got everything picked up for the most part. Got everything put inside, all of that. But I think I'm still going to call it quits for the day. It's been a heck of an eventful day. It's been pretty productive, I have to admit. So once again, thank you all for watching this random-ass vlog of production from a stoner. And see where it heads next time.